You are doing all of your affirmations, you're visualizing, you are believing it, and then the opposite of what you want happens. I don't know, you're manifesting your SP, they block you, or you're manifesting money and all of a sudden so many bills are coming your way. And then you watch one of these videos that tell you to persist, but you don't actually understand why am I doing everything correctly and I'm manifesting the opposite? Well, I know why, and I know even why you should persist and why you're going to end up manifesting what you want. So stay tuned. Hello, everyone. My name is Naya. Thank you so much for sticking around to my channel. For those of you who are new on this channel, we talk about metaphysics, the law of assumptions, and so much more. I have a different background. The light is what it is because I'm in London right now. And so I'm trying to figure it out a place or where to do the videos. So be patient. And on top of that, if you guys want to participate to challenges or extra videos where I talk about all this stuff, you can follow my Patreon. Now, let's talk about this video. Why are you manifesting the opposite? Now, obviously, before I tell you anything, these videos are only for entertainment purposes and they come from my personal experience. Lara is over there, by the way. She's listening to all the videos. She's my best friend. She's here in London with me. Anyway, so they come from my personal experience, and therefore don't ever feel limited about what I'm saying, because obviously you create your own reality, you create your own rules, and you take these videos only if they resonate with you and they're helping you out in any possible way. Okay? So why it happens that you're manifesting the opposite. Now, not for everything there is a delay period. Not for everything you manifest the opposite. For instance, when it comes down to money, in my personal perspective, I have never manifested the opposite. I never really had resistance too much, and I never really had that much of a delay time, even though delay is something that I think is real in manifestation. But for some other manifestation, which I might had many thoughts about, I did manifest sometimes the opposite, and I do see this with my clients as well. And I also want to share a success story of one of my clients that she wrote me today. She manifested back her SP. So I want to tell you everything that happened, which is in relation to this video as well, to the topic of this video. So what I've learned, especially from Frederick E. Dodson in his book, The Parallel Universes of Self, which talks about quantum jump and reality transferring, what happens is when you are doing an affirmation, let's say, for instance, you're doing an affirmation such as, I have a wonderful job, I am rich, I have all this money, then your subconscious mind, we know, is the universe, is God, is your divine imagination. And your subconscious mind is what pushes out your personal hologram. Your subconscious mind is composed by your self-concept, by your memories, by your affirmations, your thoughts, and so on and so forth. But even Neville used to say this, you have to believe it before it manifests. Now, I don't mean you have to believe your affirmation. You can just believe in the law, but who has to believe it? Your subconscious mind has to believe that what you are affirming is true for your subconscious mind. So for instance, consciously, you can affirm I'm rich and not believe in it, and it wouldn't matter. But through the repetition of the affirmation or through the repetition of the visualization, and I explained this scientifically, why, and neurologically in my webinar, The Science Behind the Law of Assumption, the repetition of the affirmation impresses the subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind, due to the way our brain works, doesn't understand the difference between what is happening in 3D reality and what is happening in the imagination or in the thought world with affirmations. So your subconscious mind in some way has to believe what you affirm, but that doesn't mean that you have to force yourself to believe. Consciously, the only thing that you have to do is keep affirming. So I'm not saying you have to fake it until you make it. I'm not saying you have to believe it. Follow me through, okay? So what happens is, for instance, you keep repeating your affirmation, you're doing everything correctly, and I'm confident that if you're not wavering here and there, you're not double-minded, you are doing everything correctly. But what happens, you get an opposite manifestation, like the examples that I've done before. So let's say you're saying, I am rich, I have a wonderful job, you lose your job, or some bills come that you have to pay and you freak out. This is happening because your subconscious mind, and this is not just according to me, but it's according also to Frederick E. Dodson, Watson, is testing you. Now, the universe can test you because the universe is you. The universe is your subconscious mind. How does your subconscious mind test you? You are affirming I'm rich. It gives you the opposite results because your subconscious mind wants to see, in my opinion, if you react as the old version of you that doesn't have money and is in a lack of poor mindset, or reacts like the new version of you that keeps affirming, I am rich. So for instance, scenario, you get all these bills and you know the law, you believe in the law. So that's the only thing that consciously you have to believe in. So you got all the bills or whatever. You keep affirming, I am rich, I am rich. You pay the bills, or instead of freaking out, you react like the new version of you. Because if you just say, don't react, it doesn't make any sense. You react as a new version of you. And the new version of you will think thoughts such as, everything is fine, I have all the money. Or if you cannot stretch it to that point, you will just say, everything always works out my way in the end, I will have the money, everything is fine. You will create a different thought pattern. Now, this sounds easy, but that's where many people give up. And this is the key of persistence, because many people, they put all this effort, they get the opposite manifestation, they get triggered emotionally and they spiral and they give up. But if you persist with the new thoughts and the new version of you, what happens is this, literally, and I believe this very strongly, your subconscious mind, and this happens unconsciously, you don't notice this with the movement of your mind, it's all unconscious. That's why persistence is key. What happens on the unconscious level, your subconscious mind is confused initially because you receive this opposite manifestation, and then you keep repeating that you're rich. And so your subconscious mind is confused through the repetition and goes like, oh, well, she keeps repeating that she's rich, no matter what the 3D is showing. I don't understand the difference between the 3D and the internal world. So your wish is my command. You are God you are my God. So because you keep repeating that no matter what, I have to push it out for you because it has to be your hologram. And that's when, if you can overcome that little challenge, that's when unconsciously your subconscious mind believes your affirmation without you having to put any single effort and pushes them out. Now, this doesn't happen, like I said, for every single manifestation, but it could happen. So if you are in the process of manifesting anything and you are receiving an opposite results, the trick to manifest fast and effortlessly is to be detached as much as possible, or to remind yourself, like I always say to all my clients, not only to persist, but to remind yourself, I am not that old version of me anymore. I am not that old version of me anymore. I don't react to this thing. I don't need to react because I'm rich. I don't need to react because I know I'm going to be with this person. I don't need to react because I know I'm going to have a boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever it is that you manifest. If you can do this little switch and persist in those thought patterns, which sounds, it can be actually easy if you just think about it, then I promise you, your subconscious mind will push out your hologram. And I'm gonna give you briefly the success story that I received today for my clients. I had this client that she wanted to manifest her SP back, and she was blocked on everywhere, Instagram, WhatsApp, everywhere, okay? So she was very sad, obviously, and we worked for 2 months actually together. So it took a little longer. You guys know I'm very much into instant manifestation. And when you work with me in coaching, I give you affirmations such as I manifest everything that I want in less than 24 hours, because I really do believe that any minute now, your manifestation could drop. However, for this particular case, she took 2 months. It is what it is, but she's been very consistent, which I appreciate and I love and adored. And I remember she texted me the last time that we heard from each other. It was the 17th of May. And she was very depressed. She told me, I don't see any movement whatsoever. The only movement that I saw is that he unblocked me on WhatsApp, but he didn't text me. He didn't do anything. I don't know what to do. I feel really, really depressed. And usually if you work with me, guys, you know that I'm very brief when I answer. The most important part is when I answer the first messages, because I give you a personal plan on what to do. What I told her to do is, this is great. He unblocked you. That's a sign. That's movement right there. And even if there wasn't any movement such as an unblock, you should persist no matter what. The key is to think thoughts like the new version of you. She didn't contact me for until today. And he was so happy. I was so happy because today she wrote to me and she said, I didn't want to contact you because I saw so much movement after we spoke, but I wanted it to harden into fact, which I appreciate from her a lot. And she told me he came back. He completely changed his version. He is loving. He's respectful. He introduced me to his mom, which is what I intended him to do. He's always showered me with affection. And I am finally in the relationship that I always desired. And she concluded the note saying, thank you so much because you make me manifest the perfect version of my SP and I couldn't be more happy. So what was the key? She was having almost opposite results for 2 months, but not only she persisted, but she kept reminding herself about the new version of herself that has already what she wants because creation is finished. And so the new version of her thinks only the highest thoughts of her specific person or the specific matter that she wants to manifest, and only thinks highest positive thoughts of everything because already lives in that reality. When you can prove that, your subconscious mind will believe it. You don't consciously believe it, that's fine. You don't have to. But your subconscious mind, through the repetition and the persistence of those thoughts, will start believing it and will start to push them out. That is why, and I agree with many coaches, they say persistence is key. That is the reason why, in my opinion. And you can even read the book of Frederick E. Dodson, Parallel Universe of Self, in order to understand. There is an entire chapter where he talks about this entire topic, and he talks about how the subconscious mind works in the perspective of manifestation and reality transferring. Okay, you guys, so this is the video that I have for you today. Let me know if this makes sense for you. Let me know your success stories and your perspective on this. Remember, you create your own rules and you create your own reality, but that is something that I saw. And sometimes, I even confronted myself with other coaches. Sometimes it gets worse before it gets better, but that doesn't mean that you have to give up. And like the old good Neville Goddard will say, no matter what the 3D is showing, no matter how much resistance or how many people are telling you that this thing is impossible, you keep living in your beautiful, wonder, divine imagination. I love you guys and see you very soon from London on this channel to more videos, and see you also on Patreon. And by the way, I have a course to manifest your SP now with my formula. The link is down below through my Etsy shop. Love you guys and see you very soon. Bye.